Hey YouTube, Shinobi here with a review of the S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider Yuuki from Kamen Rider Den-O Final Countdown, Saraba Den-O, whatever. I'm glad to finally have this son of a bitch. He costs pretty much just about as much as Strike Form did, which is ridiculous. And I probably should have gunned for it back when he was only about 8,000 instead of 12,000, but whatever. Anyway, package, we've got the Tamashii Web shop under here. That was before Tamashii Web became a part of Bandai Collector's shop, if I remember correctly. Kamen Rider Yuuki, Saraba Den-O Final Countdown. Yuuki here being all hijack shit, I don't know. Master Rider Yuuki right along here. Hijack Form with the whip on the back, Hijack Form with the Savage Gasher right here, and then the Skull Form pieces right there. So, let's just kind of get them open and take a look-see. Let me adjust this a tiny bit. I don't think that did anything, but whatever. So, get in there. Set this up like normal. Damage. Yuuki comes with two little pieces, kind of like the sets. Back here we've got the Skull Form arm. His whip is unpainted and it's kind of eh. The Skull Form Ghost Imagine sword, his Beyblade, and the Savage Gasher, which is probably the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's so savage. Just like Corey Matthews. And then we have his Skull Form sombrero, body sombrero, I don't know. And then Hijack Forms, Skull Form's little headpiece, Yuuki himself, the Savage Gasher, I guess in this case, pieces right here, and two sets of hands, punchy hands and molester hands. So, let's just kind of do this, I guess. He comes packaged as Hijack Form. And I kind of want him in Hijack Form. So, since I have to do all of this anyway, I'm going to just start with Hijack Form. I kind of want to end in Hijack Form, but I'm just going to do what's best. So, to successfully complete Hijack Form, pop his head off. His neck will probably come with it, just, that's fine. Take the red, whatever. Line it up. There's a tab in the back that this kind of rests into, and a tab in the front of the body here, and just kind of push everything down. It won't lock and push in all that well, but it'll just kind of rest inside that indent, and it'll look kind of stupid, but it's not too bad. So pop his head back on. Ta-da! And here we have Yuuki Hijack Form. So let's get up close and personal here. His head's actually really cool. Looking at the other ones, he does bear a bit of a resemblance to Strike Form. But nothing else really. So he's pretty much all original head design. He's got this little, like, samurai-esque ponytail in the back, which is kind of cool. It does pop out for reasons. His little body sombrero neck thing is actually pretty cool. This bothers me a little bit because it jettisons outwards, but overall it's not really that bad. I'm sure it'll kind of rest into place eventually. So he's got a little robo hand. As far as that goes, it's just kind of standard Figuart. Wrist articulation, and it opens, and his little thumb thing can move. So that's fun. But standard articulation is the same as Strike Form and Gaoh. However, because of his skirt piece, it doesn't go back all that much, but it can go forward the entire bit. So that's not bad at all. I don't know, I really dig this color scheme. I'm going to display him as Hijack Form just because that seemed like Yuuki to me. The Skull Form just seemed kind of like a big mess. But I love the Gaoh design going on here, and in this color scheme, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So it kind of takes the whole best of multiple worlds approach in this case. So here we go. I'll bring the camera down just a tad. And one thing I did forget to do, that I always forget which direction these go, I believe they go like this, is to put the Dengasher things on there. I'm not going to put the Dengasher pieces on there just because he's going to get displayed with the Savage Gasher. So they aren't going to be necessary, so I'm not going to bother putting them on. I've done this multiple times now. So I'm not going to even switch hands either. Just for the sake of time, I'm just going to switch to skull form and call it a day. So let me get this part open, which is actually quite difficult. It's really thin, so it's kind of packed. And the plastic tends to stick really well. Alright, there we go. So, that's actually all for Hijack Form. So, wave bye to Hijack Form. First of all, let's pop his head off. Pop this off. And, first things first is we have to take off his robo arm, because Skull Form does not have the robo arm. So just pull. It's kind of like switching, hands for, Luna Metal or Luna Joker, but not as complicated because it comes off at the wrist. So take his handpiece here, and I believe that's the right way, and just push it in. It'll just pop right in, and there we go. So he's got a normal hand. So now he's got two hands. Good for him. He's now a normal person. Pop his little whatever we decided to call this thing in. I got to put the Savage Gasher in his hand, damn it. Oh well. So, to transform the head, kind of pop this out, right there. Set that aside. There's a little piece in here that's actually kind of difficult to get, and then just put the visor back in. That seems to be the easiest method of doing this. And take the skull form piece, and this will all kind of fit together. Once again, just fit that in the back peg where the samurai-like blade was. That will go right into his noggin and pop right in. So there we have the skull form head, and just pop that right in. And now we have Yuuki in skull form. So let me give him the ghost imaging scimitar thing. Hold it, you dick. Yuuki, I do not have time for this. I do not have time for your childish games. There we go. So now he's all ready to go kick your ass, eh? So like, ah, fuck you. There we go. So there is skull form. Slightly crouched, but skull form nonetheless. So, was it worth the price? Here's a look at the accessories I forgot. There's the Savage Gasher, just totally badass, awesome. And here is his whip. It is a very loose material, so it is whippy. But it's a whip, it's kind of boring. And here's this little Beyblade that he whips around. I suppose you can spin it. Not very well. Whatever. So, those are his accessories. Make sure you do not lose the pieces for Skull Form or Hijack Form. Hijack Form in particular, because these are so tiny. So make sure you don't lose those. Is he worth the price? No. He's basically a glorified Souchaku Henshin. Particularly with the whole parts changing gimmick instead of the, like, a head swap. We actually had to pretty much dismantle the head to put it back together. but he is really cool. I do like him. I kind of hope he gets a re-release, like New Deno Strike Form is, to kind of update it into the Figuarts line. Because Yuuki is a really cool design, and even though it's basically the same thing as Gaoh, he takes a lot of really nice color cues, and he's just really cool in the long run. So I do kind of hope he gets a remake, like Strike Form is, to make him a cool Figuart. But as he stands right now, he's basically just a glorified Souchaku Henshin, just like Strike Form and basically all of them. But whatever, enough complaining. He's definitely really cool. I like Yuuki. I like Yuuki's design. And the Savage Gasher is awesome. So I do recommend him, but just not really for the price I paid. But if you can find a good deal, do pick him up. But it's really hard to recommend one figure for like $120. So that I can't do, but on his own merits, he is a pretty neato figure. So check out the blog at shukenshomi.wordpress.com for all these reviews, updates, and release dates. And check out the podcast, Riders, Rangers, and Rambles at ridersrangersandrambles.com. Bringing the latest Toku news in the craziest way possible. Lots of cool updates on the horizon. So take care and have a great one. Bye. Die.